Basically, I decide not to be black or white. I define my own life and I make up my own rules. I'm in the gray side.
Yes, guys, today I'm in the heart of Dublin and I'm actually hanging out at it's not a club, I think it's called 22, am I correct?
Yes, called number
Yes.
22.
Number 22, and this is actually in Dublin City Centre. And I'm here with no one other than, I like to call you the Josephine Baker of Ireland.
Damn, that's a compliment and a half.
I'm talking about NC Gray, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing today, NC Gray?
I'm doing great. How are you?
That's great. Thank you very much for having us here today.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. It's nice to chill backstage with you, obviously. I've never been backstage in my life. So this is
Always
my
the first time?
first backstage, and I hope I do a lot.
We'll see.
Yeah. I'm like that tag along guy, yeah?
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah, so tell us a bit about NC Gray. For those who don't know who NC Gray is, tell us about NC Gray and how you got the name NC Gray.
Okay, so I am NC Gray, as you previously said. I am a soul and jazz singer and songwriter. NC Gray. Let me see the most concise way of explaining it. So the N and C stand for nonconformist, and the gray came as basically in life everybody tries to put you in a box. So I am black, so I'm expected to sing a certain way, or sing a certain kind of music, or do a certain kind of job, or, and growing up in life, everybody has tried to put me into one box or the other. And I've always found it hard fitting into those boxes or those expectations of other people. And I feel like I finally come to a place in my life where I'm comfortable being on that gray side where nobody can really define who I am for me.
So this has nothing to do with 50 Shades of Grey?
Nope.
Yeah.
I actually had this name before the
50
movie
Shades.
came out, and I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah, so everyone's going to think you got the name from that.
Yeah.
So that's just like, because I honestly thought there was a grey side to you.
Well,
I thought that was why you had the name NC Gray. You get me? Like, I was like, maybe, but... And then, you're singing jazz, and I'm like,
you'll never know.
parts of the puzzle together. All right, listen. So, why did you like why music? Like, what made you decide that you wanted to go into music, especially like jazz? So, because like you said, a lot of people would put you because you're black. To put you into this box. Because a lot of people might have said maybe R&B and stuff like that. Why soul and jazz?
So I've always been musical. I've always sang. I've always been I grew up in church choirs, so music has never been a stranger to me, and I've always written music as well. Why soul? Why jazz? That's the music that inspires me. That's what gives me shivers. That's the kind of music that I write naturally without even trying. And the reason I decided to go after it eventually is that, yes, it's a niche market per se. Like, there's not that many people my age doing this kind of music, but there's always those people who want to listen to jazz music. I mean, like when you come back from from the club and you're driving, there's always people who don't want the not noise, but don't want the hype, and those are the people I'm here to cater for. And on the flip side of that is, I realized after losing a few friends of mine, life is short, there's no test drives, there's no reruns. This is it. So
One take.
if you don't get it done now, you are going to look back and say, I coulda, shoulda, woulda, but I didn't. And that's all on you.
Definitely, most def. Well, I kind of did my background search about you, so I know a few things about you. Like, for example, the fact that you actually used to be a model.
Yes.
Yeah, and on your page, it says something about you were actually a British Nigerian-born singer.
Yes.
Yeah. So, did you ever live in the UK?
Yes, I was born and raised partially in the UK.
Yeah. So, now here's why I came up with the idea. Like, you were kind of like the Josephine Baker of Ireland. Because for those who don't know about Josephine Baker, she was born in the United States, but she later on moved to France to pursue her career in like being an actor. Because she started as a dancer and she became a singer. You started as a model and now you're a singer. You moved from the UK and you're now in Ireland. And Josephine Baker was like really, she was really appreciated, accepted well in France than she was in America. And like, I honestly feel like the stage where you're performing today, I feel like that's exactly how Josephine Baker must have felt when she started, because she was in a place where a lot of people really appreciated the art that she was giving out to them. Like you said, not everyone's about the hype. Not if some people want to eat, wine and dine, and listen to good music. I'm hoping I get food later on though.
The food at number 22 is exquisite, so yeah, you should.
Yeah, I should get some lobster and stuff.
I've
never had lobster, by the way, because I'm not a fish. I'm not a seafood person. But
I think lobster is more of an experience. So whether you're a fish person or not, you should try it at some point.
That's what someone said to me about sushi, and it wasn't a good idea.
But now you can say that you've tried it, and now you know that you don't like it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, anyways. But speaking of your music. So, we know you do soul and you do jazz. What kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of 1920s to 1970s music. I listen to a lot of Nina Simone, Louis Armstrong. Those are the kind of songs that I would reach out for. That would be on my Spotify playlists. Let's see. Is there anybody? Jill Scott. Now she's newer than they would be. Or she's younger.
Yeah, she's younger.
She's younger than they would be. I'm a massive, obsessive fan of Jill Scott.
Oh, nice.
Even down to Nigerian French artist Asha. I'm a really big fan of hers as well.
Yeah, she's dope. Your song, Choose Me, like I feel like it's like a girl who like you actually have to tell us about that song. But when I hear the song, I feel like it's like a girl who like she's the wifey material, she's bae, she's everything. But yeah, you're playing around and you're messing around with her emotions. But like she's actually begging you, and you know that if you don't listen, you're gonna regret it. Like she's that one girl you're always gonna be like, you know what?
The one that got away.
The one that got away. Yeah.
I think the way life kind of works, people love the thrill of the chase. And it's like when they have something in their hands, they're not necessarily like, they know that what they have is good, but they're not necessarily appreciative of what they have. People always think that the grass is greener on the other side. So sometimes you'd find a guy who that would be with someone and she ticks all the boxes, but he's still looking outside and still uncertain. Do I really want to settle for this person? Could there be more outside? And every woman has a breaking point. So it's, that song is basically saying, I know that you do have some interest, but I also know that you haven't fully made up your mind. If you're not ready to appreciate what you have, there's so many other people outside who are willing to do so. So step aside.
I feel like that song was actually speaking to me, by the way. I've been in a situation like that. But before we wrap up things, who are you listening to right now that's in the scene? Like, for example, like top, not just in the charts, that people are listening to their music. Might be from Nigeria, might be from the UK, America, even Ireland. Like, who are you listening to that you feel like a lot of people are listening to right now?
In the UK, Laura Muvola.
Yeah.
She's an amazing, creative jazz alternative artist, and I think it's been such a breath of fresh air to find somebody who's in the public eye at the moment, who's doing such interesting and ear tingling kind of music. Although she just got dropped from Sony, so I'm not really sure where she plans to take her music from then, but I'm hopefully looking to hear a lot more from her. In Ireland, I would say Soleil. She's a new act, and she is literally busting up the airways, and she's bringing back some old school 90s vibes, and loving her music. In Nigeria, I would say Simi. She is, I think finally they have somebody who's doing, who's a singer, because there's the singers who are more on the entertainer side of things, but she is a full-blown singer-songwriter, and she has, beautiful lyrics, a beautiful voice, and really just a fresh of breath air in the African market in general.
Okay, that's great. Now let's talk about like the rap scene. I'm gonna give you 3 options. You need to pick. They all have an album. No, I'm gonna give you 4 actually. They all have an album out now, and you have to pick. Yeah, let me know if you've listened to them, and then pick one song from those 4. So we have Future or Hendrix by Future. He has 2 albums out, so you can pick one from both of them. And we have Stormzy's album, Gang Signs and Prayers, and we have Rick Ross's album. Yeah, I think it's called Let Me See You or Now You See Me or something like that. And yeah, that's 4, isn't it? Yeah.
That's 3.
That's 3. Yeah, Future, Hendrix, Stormzy, and Rick Ross.
Okay, so Stormzy.
Have you listened to all the albums by
Only because I haven't listened to the other.
Oh, okay.
I don't listen to Future for obvious reasons. Stormzy, and that's because Blinded by Your Grace.
Yeah, that's
that for me that was it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Rest of them I don't really listen to rap music anyway, so that was an obvious landslide win.
Definitely. Well, listen, thank you, NC Gray, for having us one more. We're gonna let you go do your thing and get ready for the show. But listen, guys, it's been fun hanging out with NC Gray backstage. And what can your fans expect from you, and how can they actually get you? Like, for those who don't know you, how can they find you on social media, anywhere?
So you can find my music on SoundCloud, Spotify, on iTunes, anywhere that has music online. You can find my music. If you're trying to connect with me, social media is the best, quickest way to reach me. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. My handles are all the same, and it's at the NC Gray. If it's for something more professional, you can reach me on my website, www.thencgray.com.
Okay, until we come your way, a signal.